Elon Musk is a name familiar to many. The South African-born entrepreneur is known for his ambitious business ventures and creative problem-solving abilities. From co-founding the revolutionary payment system PayPal to launching SpaceX and Tesla Motors, Musk has had a hand in some of the most innovative companies in the world. He has recently been making headlines for outspoken criticism of U.S. government corruption. In a series of tweets, Musk referred to Joe Biden's political track record and the massive corruption he believes Biden is guilty of. The tweets quickly gained traction, prompting many to call for further investigation into the allegations. Musk then released a YouTube video that purported to provide evidence of Joe Biden's alleged corruption. The video looks at some of the most widely circulated claims against Biden, including his influence in facilitating a loan between Ukraine and Burisma Holdings. It cites various sources, such as documents from the New York Times and an email published by Forbes magazine, as evidence of Biden's involvement. The video concludes that the evidence proves Biden's wrongdoings and calls for further investigation. The YouTube video has been viewed over 8 million times, making it one of the most popular videos on the platform. It has sparked a debate among viewers, with many calling for an independent investigation into the claims against Joe Biden. While nothing can be said for sure until authorities have completed their investigations, Elon Musk's video presents compelling evidence and raises important questions about Biden. While it is hard to say definitively whether or not there is any truth to Musk's accusation, one thing is certain. The lack of coverage by the mainstream media has created an atmosphere of mystery and intrigue surrounding this situation. After all, if such a potentially explosive story was true, why isn't it being discussed? Furthermore, wouldn't a major source be required for verification if it were false? Elon Musk has always been critical of Joe Biden's administration, but his criticisms were especially heightened when Joe Biden held a meeting with top car executives like Mary Barra of General Motors and Jim Farley of Ford Motors, while excluding Tesla. The meeting was held to discuss the future of electric vehicles and ended with Biden signing an executive order for the EV companies to sell more vehicles. What's more interesting about this meeting was the clear exclusion of one of the U.S.'s leading EV manufacturing companies, Tesla. It is well known that Tesla sells more EVs than all other EV manufacturing companies combined. For the sake of reference, let's review the numbers. In the last quarter, GM only delivered a mere 26 EVs in the US, while Ford delivered more than a total sale of 12,284 EVs. And Tesla, the company which was wrongfully excluded, had a staggering total scale of 308,600 EVs. Was it crazy to exclude Tesla from a meeting in which it could play a key role? If that wasn't enough, the US president added salt to the wounds by tweeting, "I meant it when I said the future was going to be made right here in America. Companies like GM and Ford are building more electric vehicles here at home than ever before." His glaring exclusion of Tesla got to the CEO, and he responded by tweeting, "Starts with a T and ends with an A, ESL in the middle." Musk's reply caused a lot of reactions on Twitter. In fact, he spent a lot of his time responding to supporters calling out Biden's unjust exclusion of Tesla Motors. One supporter tweeted, "Madness has taken national proportions. Shame on Joe Biden and Mary Barra for this lie. It's so insignificant to be like that." Elon Musk responded to this supporter calling Biden a damp sock puppet in human form, clearly showing how annoyed he was at President Joe Biden's unreasonable actions. Fans of Elon started a campaign at Change.org, the world's largest petition platform with over 200 million users. Their petition asked President Biden to acknowledge Tesla's leadership regarding electric vehicles. The number of signatures currently stands at 32,500, but it's quickly climbing. It could end up like a single one of Musk's tweets about Bitcoin crumbled their numbers. Joe Biden might regret making such an unreasonable move against Tesla sooner rather than later. Also, this isn't the right time for President Biden to start a feud with Musk, the Tesla CEO who has been a long-standing supporter of the Democratic Party. It is worth pointing out that he voted for President Biden and Hillary Clinton in previous presidential elections. Even before them, the Tesla CEO worked closely with the incumbent president, Barack Obama's administration, but he has currently defected to the Republican Party. So why did Elon Musk suddenly move to the Republican Party when Biden's administration is also focused on similar sustainability goals as Tesla? Elon Musk recently stated that this defection is in no small part due to President Biden's administration's doings, stating that it is doing everything it can do to sideline and ignore Tesla. This was after what seemed to be Joe Biden's wisecrack against the Tesla CEO when he wished Elon Musk lots of luck on his trip to the moon. When the richest man in the world asked about the state of the U.S. economy, the U.S. president went on to recognize Ford's effort to hire 6,000 employees while sidelining Tesla, which in the past 2 years hired about 50,000 employees worldwide. Furthermore, he continuously referred to Ford without acknowledging Tesla EV and their huge contribution to the U.S. economy. Unfortunately, Biden's strategy might lead to repercussions in the forthcoming elections. Elon Musk is a prominent figure in both the tech industry and the political sector. The tech mogul is also very influential and could easily reduce Joe Biden's voter base by up to half using only a single tweet. But before Elon left for the Republican Party, he stated that the Democrats had become a party of division and hate. It also turned out that Joe Biden was not the only member of the Democrat Party to join the anti-Musk bandwagon. Several other Democrats also chose to work against Musk while showing their aggressiveness to varying degrees. Due to recent developments, Elon mentioned that he would favor DeSantis for president. He also stated, "In the past, I voted Democrat because they were mostly about kindness. But they have become the party of division and hate, so I can no longer support them and will vote Republican. Now watch their dirty tricks campaign against me unfold." We will have to wait for the upcoming elections to see the extent Musk's influence will have on Joe Biden's presidency. Tesla has also been unjustly excluded from Joe Biden's $7,500 tax incentive for EVs. Elon Musk, from the get-go, was against President Biden's social and climate spending bill, most especially being concerned that it would lead to an insane federal deficit. He advised, "Don't pass it. That's my recommendation. The Build Back Better Act hasn't been passed yet by the Senate. This act includes tax incentives of $12,500 for electric vehicles under unions to lead to consumer demand for electric vehicles. And since Tesla is not part of a union, the president's government was supposed to reinstate a $7,500 federal credit for Tesla, since it is also a renowned EV manufacturing company. Unfortunately, Tesla has been operating without the $7,500 tax incentive for almost 2 years. You must be wondering what Musk's reaction was to that matter. Well, he stated that Tesla was doing just fine. And the Build Back Better Act also included $7.5 billion allocated for the infrastructure bill. According to President Joe Biden, the money is to be used for building U.S. EV charging stations, an idea which Elon finds ridiculous. The world's richest man felt that was a waste of money. He mentioned, "Do we need support for gas charging stations? So there is no need for a charging network. I would delete it. I'm saying get rid of all subsidies, but also oil and gas." Elon reasoned that since gas stations didn't need government funding, EV charging stations shouldn't need governmental funding either. He also explained that the government would work better if it acted more like a sports referee than an actual player. Musk stated that instead of spending that money on EV charging stations, that money would be better spent on the construction of highways and airports. He mentioned that the government would best build highways as Tesla vehicles will choke the highways in the future, saying, "Traffic will get worse." However, Joe Biden's administration doesn't seem to resonate with Tesla in many ways. Not too long ago, the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration was on Tesla's neck due to their new full-size driving EVs, accusing the EV manufacturing company of being responsible for more than 70% of accidents caused by autopilot vehicles. As for President Biden's government, they have never mentioned anything about NHTSA efforts against Tesla, which appeared to be an indirect attack on Tesla. There were many unrealistic laws that Tesla was supposed to fulfill to satisfy NHTSA's rules and regulations, which were not necessary from the start. And some Tesla officials believe that this move has political overtones and is linked to Joe Biden's administration. You'll find it funny that Musk's feud with Joe Biden didn't begin a long time ago. It began around September 2021, when Joe Biden chose to ignore SpaceX's success of the Inspiration 4 mission. The mission consisted of 4 civil crews and would go down in history as the first space exploration that would consist of non-professional crew members. The team of 4 safely landed back on Earth after a 3-day exploration in space. Confused by the president's obvious silence, a fan asked on Twitter, "The President of the United States has refused to acknowledge the 4 newest American astronauts who helped raise hundreds of millions of dollars for St. Jude. What is your theory on why that is?" Musk quickly replied saying, "He's still sleeping." Even Musk's rival in the space industry, Jeff Bezos, congratulated Musk, expressing his appreciation for the difficult mission the company undertook. On the other hand, Biden couldn't be bothered by the revolutionary feat. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it has convinced you of the importance of standing up against corruption, especially when it comes to our political leaders. I would also like to know if you think Joe Biden is corrupt. Write yes or no in the comments section below. If you want to keep updated on the latest news, don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on. Click the video on the screen now to watch another fascinating video.